This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law. The meeting of January 6, 2025 was included in a list of meeting notices advertised in the local newspaper, posted in the local board, in the municipal building, posted on the municipal website, and remain continuously posted on the required notices under this statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office. Oh, shit. Okay. Roll call.
You want me to do the roll call?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul Walensky is absent. Robin Sudam. Walter Andrews.
Here.
Arnold Schmidt.
Here.
Ted Chase.
Here.
Maria Santiago. Here. Easy and Stan are also both absent. We knew that. Ellen Vestola is not here yet. I don't know if she's absent or not. And Councilman Patterson.
We have the report from the Environmental Commission Chair. Of course, he's not here. Where is he? He's on vacation.
I think he's in a nice warm place.
Wow. All right. I don't have anything to insert here, so we'll go on to the next item. Approval of the December 16, 24 minutes. Could I get a motion for approval? Second.
Second, but I've got
okay.
comments on it.
All right.
And I just realized the packet that I picked up with everything from the Environmental Commission, I picked up the wrong packet. Any of my notes, there are two things I want to report on. The minutes. I'm trying to think of what it was in the minutes.
You want me to put it up on the screen? Will that help?
Yeah, that'll help, yeah.
Oh, I have a paper copy too if you want.
Yeah.
There you go.
I had notes for all three things, and
Not that old yet.
okay, on the second page, 1, 2, 3, 4, the paragraph down, where it says the Board of Education has written to bus companies about not idling. That's going to have to be changed. What I said was I in contact with the school superintendent and his staff and suggested to them that they send a note to the school bus companies about the idling regulations.
That he sent a letter, or he sent an email?
I sent an email to them saying, you know, in an email that I sent to them, that was part of what I said to send it to the school bus companies. But they said that's the transportation's department, and so they would send a message to the Board of Ed transportation department, and they were confident the transportation department would send something to the school companies.
Got it, okay. So,
I haven't heard anything back from them.
Okay.
On that.
I'm just typing it here. So that you reported that he sent an email to the superintendent of schools.
I sent an email, right.
And
his staff, because they were all involved in this.
Okay, and his staff, and what, just reiterate,
I sent it to Ravali and his staff, who I've been communicating with for months about
that
this.
schools have installed anti-idling signs. That's what you said.
Yeah, but then beyond that, Arnie suggested that the board work with the transportation department to write to.
Make a recommend, send something to the transportation department, telling them to make the recommendation to the bus companies.
Okay.
Yeah. About what the regulations are.
So, who replied to you, the superintendent?
Well, to that email, nobody replied that I remember. And again, I didn't bring my notes, but they just said we're confident that they will.
Who was they?
That was the head of the buildings and grounds, and I can't remember his name. It's in my notes that, I did not bring with me.
Mark McNamara.
Yes, yes, it is.
Mark McNamara. Mark McNamara. Wait, that doesn't look right. Does that look right? Capital N, you think, or no?
No, get rid of the A. Capital N, yes.
McNamara. Okay, Mark McNamara responded. Okay, got it. That, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to. Mark McNamara responded that they will contact the bus companies.
And they were and that he was confident that that they would abide by what is required. That they would send something to the school bus companies.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. All right, Ted, I wrote the change in there, but I'll send you a final copy. This way you don't have to go back and make the change.
No, I can go back and make the change.
All right.
Anything else?
Minutes, no.
Okay, anybody else?
Nope.
All right. So we've noted the changes. So all in favor of the minutes as amended or corrected? Let me know by saying aye. Anybody opposed? No? Okay, very good. We'll move on. Annual reorganization for Franklin Township Environmental Commission.
Yes, so we're supposed to have our reorganization tonight. We can, right? So yes. So shall we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have
So we make a motion that Paul Walensky be recommended as chair?
If that's what you would like, yeah,
Okay.
I think he's indicated he would like to serve, right?
Yes,
I don't
he
think
has.
We're out of line with him not present.
Okay, so Robin makes a nomination for Paul Litsky to be chair.
To recommend to the council, because the mayor has to appoint him, right? We don't.
Yeah, the mayor, yes, the mayor will include that in his appointment, yeah.
All right.
Is there anything else we need a second.
Yeah. Second on Paul?
Well seconded.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Anything else that we have to do for
We
reorganization?
usually do the vice chair, and did we officially make a nomination for you as secretary, Ted, or are you still?
I don't think there's any official position as secretary.
No. Okay. Do you want to keep me in the volunteer?
When I started on the commission, Jane Albanowski, who had been on the commission and was not reappointed, still kept on serving as she put it, volunteer secretary.
Okay.
Wonderful.
You want to serve as volunteer secretary still?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Your minutes are really good, so. Okay, so Ted will continue on, so we just have to make a motion for vice chair.
Okay, so that's just a practice, right? There's nothing.
Yeah, that's just this, that's just our, that's what we did last time.
So we have a motion for Robin to, okay.
Maria makes a motion
I'll second it.
Second.
for Robin, seconded
Okay.
by Ted.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor of Robin as vice chair next year? Let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Robin
Okay,
abstains.
Robin, you're right.
Congratulations. The only other thing for the reorganization, if you want to take another little bit of time to think about it, it's fine, but is everyone happy with we really need more people here to discuss this. Was there anyone that was like burning to get on a different committee or anything like that? No? If you are all happy, then I'll just check with the other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I
We can
mean,
always make adjustments.
yeah, we can leave it
during
as
the
it
year.
is, but if anyone had a real, oh, I really wish I was on this committee, then you can let me know. Yeah, absolutely, I can resend it, yeah, I'll redo the list, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. We're good then to go to the next one.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to public comment. We need a motion.
We open to the public?
Get a second. Second for opening the meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, then moving second that we open the meeting to the public. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody from the public care to comment?
No.
Introduce yourself.
Can we talk to the public for a minute?
Yeah.
Jenny, it's really nice to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
And any of us have connections where we can help you find a field technician slot in New Jersey. We should
I
do that.
appreciate it.
Maybe we can chat for a minute at the end of the meeting.
All right.
And thank you for all you've done for us along the
Oh,
way.
absolutely. I'm so glad we were able to stay in touch while I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. If you're looking for, so right now we don't have any vacancies on the EC. You can always help with volunteering, of course, like you have been, which we really appreciate it. But I have our Trails Advisory Committee meeting on Wednesday, and one of the things I'm going to announce is that we have 2 vacancies actually. So I don't know if you're interested in potentially serving on a township committee. It's about trails. I mean,
Okay.
Just keep it. The good thing is they only meet once a quarter in person. The rest of the time they do virtually, so that maybe is a little easier.
Okay.
But yeah, think about it. You don't have to feel pressured, but I figure I'd just let you know, because I know you like to be involved. This Wednesday, actually, so this Wednesday it's here in this room, 7 o'clock, and then
Okay, great.
we have 3 virtual, then 1 in person, and then 3 virtual.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fantastic. Wow.
And if anyone here knows anyone that would be great on trails, or really is interested in trails or hiking or anything like that, we're happy to have them.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know when you
Talk to
know.
her first.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Thanks, Jenny.
Public comment.
I think that's it.
Can we have a motion to close?
I move we close.
Second.
Okay,
Then moving
Maria?
second that we close the public comment period. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right. Correspondence.
No
I
correspondence.
didn't check the mailbox. I don't have the key.
No correspondence on
No?
this end. Nope.
Okay, good. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but necessary. But we okay. Site plan applications before the Township Planning Board.
So, just a few days before the meeting, 4 very small site plan applications came in. Actually, it was like the Thursday, so I didn't want to bombard everyone, so I just did them quickly on my own because they were easy. So I'll just go through them real quick. The first one is, let me get to the correct one here, 179 Cedar Grove Lane. And what they are proposing is to subdivide the property to create 1 new lot. So the existing lot will then consist of 1.096 acres. The new lot will be 2.686 acres, accessed by a flag lot off of Cedar Grove Lane. Access to the utilities will not change for the existing lot. Access to the new lot, again, is off the flag lot via Cedar Grove Lane, and the utilities will be installed along there underground. A 2-story dwelling is proposed for the new lot as well. So I went through and looked. It's, pretty generic, subdivision application. The one they're not requesting any variances or, from setbacks or anything. They meet all the requirements. The one thing I did notice is that I couldn't find anything about tree removal. So I just wanted to submit a comment that we need the tree removal and replacement plan because they're definitely removing some. And then I also proposed, putting in a rain garden somewhere along there and native plantings for buffering.
Is it a wooded lot right now?
I have it up right now. So that's a different lot. I was looking today for open space. Let's see. Is this, nope. Yes, this is the lot right here. So you can see it has some woods there in the upper, and then, and that is where they are going to be. So you can see the existing house is there. That's where the existing lot will be. The new lot isn't taking down all of those trees, but it is going to kind of be in the middle there. So probably that one big tree there at least is going to have to go. But I looked through the whole thing. I couldn't find anything about the tree removal. So
Make sure.
Yeah.
If this is residential too, not just commercial.
absolutely, yeah. So I can write that in. So that is that one. Any questions or anything on that? All right. So I will submit.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. What is the lot size required amount? an acre?
Yes, 1 acre. So the existing lot will be 1.096, and then the new lot will be 2.626, I think it was. Okay, so that is that one. The next one is the Grove at Somerset Homeowners Association. This is, so the mailbox lot is technically in New Brunswick, I guess, but the property is also in Franklin, which is why we're looking at it. The total acreage of the site is 4.93 acres. What they're looking to do is that, so originally it was approved in 2019, the development, they attached the resolution. The resolution, this is already built and everything. The resolution required that 5,500 square feet of open space be set aside as part of the development. They still want to do that, but originally they had proposed that 5,500 square feet be a community garden. They now just want to have it as open, passive, natural space, not a community garden. And that's what they are basically seeking approval for, because basically they're modifying the approval.
So they're not going to touch it at all?
No, they're going to keep it. They just wanted it as open, passive space, and they're required to have that. But their original plan was to put in a community garden that really would only be used by the development.
Is it cut?
It's just open right now.
So it's like a field?
It's just open as a field, yeah.
And they would have had to maintain that community garden?
Yes, they would have had to maintain it, and honestly, it would probably mostly be used by the development anyway. This now, again, probably mostly used by the development, but it's just going to be open, and they're required as part of their approval to keep it open forever.
Can we encourage them not to mow it and let it naturalize?
Yeah, we could absolutely do it. They probably would love that, I bet. I'm sure I have recommendation for planting of native vegetation, and we'll say,
And we're allowed to naturalize.
no mowing, natural, that's a good one, yeah, I like it. We could even, if we wanted to, we could say native vegetation pollinator, native and pollinator. Okay, all right. So that's that. There's no building. The building's already done. Everything's done and in. They just want to not have to do the community garden, I guess.
And as long as they just don't go ahead and mow it all the time. And then it becomes impervious surfaces.
Absolutely. Okay.
Avoid routine mowing. Maybe that's a comment.
Okay. Yeah, I can put that on there.
So is the builder still making the decision, or is there some type of association?
Yeah, it's the homeowners.
The
association.
homeowners,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, all right.
Where is the Grove at Somerset?
It's hold on, I was about to read you the wrong address. Okay, so it's, their mailing address is, hold on, 850 Route 1 North Brunswick.
Yeah, but where are they located?
I have to pull it up. 46807. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up on here. Okay. Hang 1 second here. This thing that's the one thing about going back and forth. It just takes me a minute.
Confused.
It just goes on and on. Okay. Come on. I'll show you it. Okay. Aye. All right, there we go. Franklin. Oh wait, there's a bunch of Franklins, yeah. I think I said it was,
468.
yeah, 46807, I think it was, yeah. 46807. And there it is. 46.35. Okay, well, they don't have 40, but we'll look in the area. We'll find it from there. Okay. Awesome. Unknown address. That's because, all right.
Oh, look, they put us.
What's that? Jane Center.
Yeah, so it's next to
The
that.
base
You see the
line.
blue box? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there it is.
So
Oh, yeah. So it's in here. Let me get the plans up. I can show you. So this is, so you can see it's developed, right, as it is. Let me get the plans up so you can see the exact area of the open space.
that empty spot that looks like baseball diamond.
It probably is. What number is this? This is zoning board or ZBA? Okay. All right. We're getting there. And then,
The Grove, there it is.
Grove at Somerset, okay? Alrighty. Alright, recreation area plan. Okay. What does that say? Passive, so it's up here, yeah, passive recreation, so it's above Pansy Court. So yeah, their address is technically Daisy Drive, that's where the homeowners association is. Pansy Court, okay, let's find that here. Different one. Okay, this is Pansy, yep, so it's up here. Yep, so it's just open right now.
If they let that naturalize, and if they would do the same with that other piece.
Yeah, over here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good.
This is, next to Jan Hall.
Yeah.
Right, because it's all
Oh,
so
God,
barren right
that
now.
property, there was 20 years history of trying to get that, I've forgotten the guy's name
Yeah.
now.
Okay, well I can send that in.
Okay, thank you.
So that's that one. Then we have this, which is Verizon Wireless. This is proposed for 156 Cedar Grove Lane. The original approval required that a 10-foot composite fence be placed around the telecommunications tower. The applicant would like to put a 10-foot chain link fence with privacy slats around the tower, and they said the township can choose the color and style of the chain link fence and privacy slats if approved. So basically, instead of putting up the much more expensive composite fence, they would like to put up the chain link with the slats.
The expensive composite one turns green over time anyway.
It
You just go out
does.
there and scrub it with bleach.
Yeah.
It's just not a good idea.
And this property backs up to our township-owned Willow Ave property, which we use as a hunting property right now. So there's really not much, it's not like anyone's going to see this, So if we say green chain link fence with green privacy slats, I think that's probably okay, unless anyone has an objection.
No, and olive to dark green, not Easter green.
Yes, so like a dark green
Something that looks natural.
with green slats.
Greenish brown, that'll kind of disappear.
Yeah. And that is for Verizon Wireless. Okay, anyone have any questions on that one? All right, and then the last one is Michelle and Ian Fernandez. They're located at 32 Annapolis Street. I'll pull that up in 1 second. The applicant, so these guys are seeking an approval after the fact. So they constructed a concrete patio and replaced aging steps at the back of the house, which put them over the impervious coverage limit. So in that zone, the impervious coverage limit is 30%. They are now at 35.3%. The applicants say that they were not aware that this would do that, or that there was an exceedance even of the impervious coverage limit that could potentially happen. So they need a variance to exceed the impervious coverage limit, even though everything is in place. It's built, it's there. And so they're seeking approval after the fact.
Can I plant trees?
They can. So I went through and looked at it. What it looks like is that they are, and I'll show you, in a medium density residential area, recommended mitigation of the project via rain garden or native plantings for buffering. Let me show you where it's at. 32 Annapolis. 32 Annapolis.
Do we ever have the manpower to go around and see if people do what they agree to do?
So our code enforcement does do it. They're supposed to do it. So
Do we know if they do?
as far as I know, they do. They're out there a lot.
Good.
So this is the property in question right here, this one. So they're gonna go before the zoning board, and the only variance they need is, to exceed the impervious coverage limit. So, so you can see the house basically takes up the whole lot as it is.
That's a lot of roof, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty small lot.
Very. And on the back of it now, they've put which you don't see there yet, they've put the concrete patio, and they replaced the aging wooden steps with, I think, concrete. Let me see if I'm sure they said in here how big it was. Total acreage of site, the site itself is only 0.241 acres.
So if they would consider even replacing some of the lawn with rain garden and or let it grow as a meadow
Absolutely, yeah. We can recommend that.
or a small grove of trees. That would be a real contribution.
Tree plantings, indoor meadow. Okay. And those are the 4. So that's why I just did them, because it was, I didn't want to spring it on anybody last minute. And then I looked at them, I'm like, these are pretty fast. So yeah, so they're done.
Excellent. Thank you.
All good, or, yeah, okay.
Planning board on Wednesday, we have another warehouse. It's an addition onto an existing warehouse on 400 Cottontail.
No way, I remember that one, yeah.
But there's not many trees to be cut down, and I'm going to argue for leaving some of the one. Even Mark Healy noted there were some they had no reason to take down.
Okay.
We'll be arguing to retain trees, but most of what they would build on is just lawn now.
Okay, got it, all right. All right. What is this? So that's it for site plan review then.
Very good. Thank you. All right. New business. I guess you can bring us up to date on that.
Sure. Let me just get my agenda here. Okay. Comments of the preliminary state development and redevelopment plan. So I know the last time we were here, I had mentioned that I went through a good portion of the state development, because I thought for sure there's much more that I must have not read. And I basically was at the end. I was at almost the end when I reported to you guys last time. I had like another section to read, and that was it. So
What's your overall take? I know you.
my overall take is that the state plan, the state development and redevelopment plan has been in the works since 2001. So for waiting for all that time, I was expecting mapping analysis and strategic recommendations, and it is very, to me, like the only word I can think of is like vanilla. It's like everybody should have access to healthy food, and everybody should have access to there's nothing like. And so honestly, every section, that continues to be my comment, is like, this is great, but it's very aspirational.
And nothing to build on.
Right. And understandably, so, municipalities have a lot of the power in terms of zoning and land use planning, of course, and not saying that it shouldn't be that way, but even in terms of just overall strategies, or like setting a goal, like the way that the Energy Master Plan sets a goal, right, for reducing our energy consumption or greenhouse gases. There's nothing like that. There's nothing.
The planning director is Wimpy?
They've been through so many different, because I think that this has been like every person that's in charge of that has been like, so.
This is why having the Green Amendment would be helpful, because if this is all wishy-washy and there's nothing to build on, and somebody feels their rights are being violated, the Green Amendment, they could at least lean on and say, this is not giving me clean air, pure water, a healthy environment, and the state constitution owes me that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, it's probably they just want to be sure they don't get anybody's back up.
Right. Well, because there's so many interests. Yeah, there's so many interests. But even, I'm trying to think of something they could do that would be, because there's so many, like if you say like we should preserve critical habitat, then it's like, oh, here comes the Builders Association. And then if you're like, well, this area should be developed, it's like, oh my gosh. So yes, it's very difficult to make a state plan that appeases or is like kind of good for everybody. But okay, so for example, the Energy Master Plan, I'll use that. There's no reference to it, and there's no like, we're going to support the Energy Master Plan. And you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that, you can say this has been adopted and we're going to support it.
Right.
It's just not there. It's not. So it's very nice to read, but it's like, I was expecting
Yes.
But it's
What
just.
what does your industry say? What are you hearing? How are people reacting to this?
I think so. New Jersey Future, for example, kind of same thing. Like, it's very bland, and we wish it had more teeth.
Right.
the American Planning Association, the New Jersey chapter, had like a pretty big hand in writing this. And so I don't think that they feel the same way. They feel like, I think it's pretty good. It could be. The big thing is like, I wish it had more teeth, but then it's like, well, it's a state plan and we can't step on the toes of the municipality, which I agree with. But there's things in place that they can grab onto and say, we should support. Yes.
Well,
So,
the biggest challenge faced is finding places to build affordable housing.
correct. Yes. And that is like barely touched in there because that's a hot one. Like nobody wants to touch that at all right now. Like, but
They're
it's
leaving it up to the municipalities, and of course
Yeah.
the municipalities are going to be afraid of being sued too.
right.
So they're going to say, well, if the state's not stricter, we're not going to be stricter. And
Yeah.
then we never get out of our own
I
way.
know. And the thing I really don't get is they had a bunch of webinars a while back and they invited people to give comments. So I attended the climate change one and I attended the infrastructure and the open space preservation. Everyone, myself, but other people gave great insight, awesome insight. And it's like, it's just not there. So that's what I think. I mean,
Now, is there anything we should be doing or comments we should be making?
so we can submit we can go through the comments and I sent the link around. If you all want to look at it before we send it, you're welcome to see if you get the same impression. But I think submitting a comment that basically just says like, it would be great if there was more, mapping analyses done or references to existing legislation.
Yes.
You can't go wrong if you are referencing existing legislation or policy.
Right.
Um,
Well, why don't you write a draft comment
Okay.
for us?
yeah,
And I think mentioning the energy plan and
as a reference.
yes,
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
other specifics.
Yeah, and the open space committee will submit comments too. So if they're similar, which honestly I was going to do one review for environmental and then one separate one for trails and open space and ag advisory, but really they all kind of, like even in the agriculture section, it's like we should preserve more farmland. It's like, yes, we should. And that's wonderful.
Instead of saying we should increase our preserved farmland by 13% by 2032.
Yes, a target. Or even one of the big things we talked about, we've been talking about in terms of open space preservation and farmland preservation, especially since COVID, but in the last few years, as New Jersey gets closer and closer to build out, really we're looking at providing proper stewardships to open spaces, but also when preserving farmland, looking at ways to leverage that. So if you're preserving a farm, can you also preserve a trail around it? Can we get out of our own way, like you said, right? But there's no mention of like hybrid preservation or thinking about, is this really a good place to preserve this land or should it be, for houses? Who knows?
Is it tree canopy?
Yes, I was thinking that.
Tree canopy, I believe, let me just look,
Do a search for canopy.
tree, because I remember looking tree.
Because there's another place, have a target.
All level, yeah, so they say
We
all
have a
levels.
target, but we've been going backwards.
I know.
Well, in the township, but the state.
Oh, right.
Have a target.
Yeah, so this is like directly from the plan. All levels of government should take action to avoid, minimize, and mitigate site disturbance, tree removal, habitat fragmentation. Like that's the exact words.
Yeah.
Then you go to the next one. Expand and maintain the existing urban tree canopy, particularly in overburdened communities. So that's like a little more.
Yeah.
But it's not like like we know this, right? That's what I think, at least. Encourage and support the continued planting and maintenance of trees. So like here would be a place where maybe they could say, encourage and support the continued planting and maintenance of trees by offering, financial incentives to municipalities or to nonprofits or, it's like a way to actually get it there. Just encouraging people to plant trees. That's not really doing the job.
I wonder if whoever's in charge of planning at the state level just is tired.
They could be. They might be like, get it out. I don't know. I mean, the 2001 plan obviously is outdated, but as planners, no one like relies on the state plan because you have to follow municipal planning. So it's like it's almost like, is it necessary to have this when we have a state energy master plan and the greenhouse gas reduction plan or what is that, 20 by 80 or whatever that plan, 80 by 50 or whatever it's called. We have the changing, or what is it, conserving habitat, and you know what it is, CHA.
I think it was the 2001 plan that brought up having centers.
Yes, it
and that's
did.
died off.
Yes, they brought up mapping, like, this is a center, so this is where development should be, and this is But it's impossible to do at the state level because every time zoning changes, you'd have to update the state plan map, which is never happening. So,
Well, why don't you draft what you think are comments,
Okay.
send them around to us. I'm sure we'll be comfortable with that. And
Okay.
if we think of anything else or hear from another channel
yeah,
or something, we could share it with you.
perfect. So that's the latest there. So, yeah.
Okay.
But even here's one you'll like, Robin. This is from in parentheses, encourage and facilitate rails to trails conversions, which is great, right? And but that's it. That's like where it stops. It's not like work with,
Right.
New Jersey Department of Transportation and it's not like that. So that's where they're missing.
Or the National Rails to Trails
Right.
Foundation.
Right. They're missing like part 2 of the sentence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And that's a good high-level comment to make.
It is, and it's really the only comment because it's like we could go through and be like, you should reference this, and it's like, So, okay, so I will write that up, and then at the next meeting I'll send it around. Maybe Paul can sign it, and then the next steps for this is right now they're accepting comments. They're going to make changes apparently based on the comments they received, and then after that they're going to have meetings in 10 counties or 6 counties. In 6 counties, they're going to have 6 meetings and in-person meetings, and then you can go and you can see the new draft plan. They'll explain why they took some comments and not others, and then they'll publish it. And,
Well, keep us posted
yeah.
on where those are. Maybe a couple of us could go to one.
Yeah, we should for sure.
Will those meetings take place prior to this being finalized?
Yeah, so they're going to now accept all the comments, and then whatever changes they make, they'll then say, okay, here's the final draft. Still can make comments, but I don't know. I mean, honestly, that might be another year down the road, or it could be soon. I don't know.
I feel like this is Murphy saying, let's leave this for the next guy.
Yeah, he might be like, I just can't take it. Yeah. So, all right. So I'll draft something up, and then we can send it in. And honestly, it might just be maybe it'll be co-signed by Paul and Bob Puskis or something.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's that.
Good. Thank you.
All right.
Again, this is a great opportunity. I know you.
Yes. So I started writing up so it's a Google form basically is what the grant is. So whenever I do a Google form, I always type it in like a Word document first in case it gets lost somehow.
Yeah.
But pretty simple. But I just wanted to go through with you what I think we should submit. So one of the questions is tell us what you've done already. So I referenced the local health assessment and say how, we reference heat, especially in wards 4 and 5. We've identified the populations there and how they're vulnerable to this. So basically, I just want to make sure I'm getting across what we want, which is that the focus would be collecting heat data over time in wards 4 and 5, and that would then allow us to basically make a benchmarking area basically right now, and then when we identify the real hot spots, we can then plant trees, targeted tree planting, rain garden, reducing impervious coverage, or using green infrastructure. And it will take time, but maybe in 5 years, we can measure it and actually get a different reading.
And
So
we can tell the community we're doing this.
Yes.
That we care about this.
Now this grant
Trying
comes.
to get help from Jay Watson about
Oh,
what they've
right.
been doing in Trenton, but
Right.
after one enthusiastic reply, I've heard no more, so I've got to bug him again.
Right, yeah.
He's leaving, or has left now, the co-directorship of New Jersey Conservation Foundation, retreating back to Trenton to focus on urban tree planting,
Wow.
and especially
really?
in Trenton. So,
Yeah, he'd be a good one to work with
Yeah.
then, for sure.
yeah. Well, I think they have gotten community support there, and I want to know how did they do it? What have they done?
Did they work
Because
through the churches? Did they work
Yes.
through the
Yeah.
block association?
One, I went to a webinar I went to a session at somewhere recently, and Camden was saying that what they did was they were able to actually give money to residents to plant trees like in the right of way in front of their house. Or they were able to get DPW too, but then the resident was like there was some kind of, or maybe it was to plant it must have been to plant it right on their property. But basically, there was like a way to help these residents get trees, and that like broke up the concrete and helped them with the plantings there. I don't know. I have to go back.
Increases the real estate value of their homes too.
Yeah.
Now, this grant is technical assistance, but it also comes, if you get it, with a one-time $10,000 stipend. And that stipend can be used, it's very flexible. Now, it is through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act. So it's through that infrastructure bill, the Biden infrastructure bill. So we are required to adhere to the federal reporting requirements, and like hiring, if we hire someone, we have to make sure which is fine because our finance officer knows how to do that. But you can use it, it says, for like hosting meetings, hiring people, giving people money to do tree plantings.
And maybe if we get this plan done, then we can go for another grant that could offer more funding for the trees.
Well, the key thing really is maintenance of the trees.
Yes,
And that's
absolutely.
where our public works, they don't particularly want to water trees, and they're convinced that the public won't.
Yes, you're
But
right.
apparently in Trenton, yes, the public has. So,
Yeah, what's the incentive they've gotten? That's the question. We should find that out. That's a good one. But we can think about, I mean, we might want to use it to buy like heat sensors, because it is a citizen science project, and give them to people or install them to actually take the readings. I don't know.
We could hire a field technician.
Yes, yeah, right? To do all the, so it's going to require definitely doing the monitoring over time. The good news is that in the grant application, you really just have to say, what are my goals? And I think we're going to, engage the public and work with our other committees and commissions, but it's...
and make the rest of the town aware that we
Yes.
have this issue, and, and we want to educate people.
But we don't have to put in a strict budget. We don't have to be like $5,000 for this. They're basically like, we're going to give it to you. As long as you stay within the federal reporting requirements, you're good to go. So that's it. So I just wanted to make sure that I was going down the right path, because I'm basically done with it. So I can submit it. They're going to give out 10 of these grants this year. So I don't know how many people are applying, but we'll submit it. I think the fact that we have the health assessment data is going to help us.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's worth saying, but we could say that a couple of our members went and did, tree counting, and went and identified particular intersections. So it would be very interesting to see how the data aligns with our observations.
Right.
And that it was in those census tracts that have been determined to have little tree canopy.
Right.
Yes.
So
And we could also measure, actually, Arnie, because one of the groups I said we would partner with is the Shade Tree Commission. That actually would be a way too. We could measure how the tree canopy is going up if we're successful enough in planting them.
Well, as Ted brought up, we're still waiting from the township for a maintenance plan.
Oh, you don't have it yet?
We were promised probably a year and a half,
So
2
what
years
is the point
ago.
of having this arborist if they aren't coming up with a plan?
I don't know.
Well, they say that CME has an arborist, and that should do.
Yeah, but
I don't know that
she should do
CME has
it.
an arborist. I think they said they have a tree expert. I don't think they called.
She is. She's a tree expert. Yeah,
Not an arborist in
I'll
there.
ask her because
There's
I know
only
her.
like, I think 5 arborists or
Yes.
something in all of New Jersey.
Oh,
I'll ask her because I had a conversation with her. It was a long time ago, and she was like raring to go. And I know she actually was the one that did that tree inventory originally of the hazardous trees, so she's familiar with
Is it a
it.
budget problem? Did we really never budget any money to pay for this?
I don't think so. It's not. I didn't have anything to do with it, but I
We
don't.
use the tree fund for that.
Absolutely. I thought they were using the tree fund for it. I could be wrong.
Maybe you
For
could
what?
find out. For
Was a
paying
tree
for
fund
this
used to
tree
pay
expert.
for the plan, for the maintenance plan?
Yes.
It was, yeah.
And for the time for the arborist or the tree expert or whatever she is.
There's no problem with using
I
it.
think
Right.
just trying to recall what Bob Vornlocker said, it was my impression that, yes, they've committed the money for CME to do this, so why is it taking so long is really the question.
It shouldn't be taking this long because I do know, I know the woman and she's a very good worker, but also, like I said, she did the hazardous, she tagged all those trees and she got it done like pretty quickly, so I don't know why it
We need
would.
to go to a council meeting and ask this question
Exactly,
publicly.
exactly,
It would be best
And
if
we'll
it came
get some
from Shade
oration
Tree.
from Vornlocker.
Yeah.
Ah.
What do you think of that, Arnie? Ask Shade Tree if one of their members or one of our members wants to go to a council meeting and ask publicly where this tree maintenance plan is?
I believe Steve has been talking about it with Bob Warlocker.
But I'm thinking if we go to the council to shame Warlocker in front of him.
I don't believe in shaming people in public like that.
Shaming.
That's something that I would do.
But if it's been a year and
If
nothing's
Steve
happened.
wants to go in front or have somebody else go in front of the council and do that, then fine.
Well, why don't you ask him on our behalf, what does he think the next step is? Because we keep asking and it's nothing.
Do you think, Arnie, that the Shade Tree Commission would like to see this, like, grant proposals, even though the EC's applying for it? Well, then I would have to probably share with Open Space. I'm just wondering, like, because I want to get as much buy-in for it as possible. So Shade
I
Tree,
would say copy Steve.
yeah. And if they have any input,
Absolutely.
yeah, that might be good. Because I think the more buy-in we get, the better.
Gravitas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as far as spending the money, there might be a better way to, I mean, because you can spend it, it says on, hosting meetings, T-shirts, but maybe it's like, maybe there's a different way,
I think having a reception at the youth center and offering people refreshments could help.
That goes a long way, and we would have the money then.
Feed them and they will come.
Oh, we could show them a movie too, maybe, about planting, maybe. That would be one way to do it too. Okay. So I'm gonna just clean it up. I'll send the Word document around, and I'll also send it to Shade Tree, and then it's due the 17th, but it's basically done. So, okay. Alrighty, that's that. What's next here? Oh, hot topics.
Do you want committee reports or?
Oh, did I forget to put that on again? I did probably. Ugh. Sorry about that. Yes, let me add it to the agenda for next month right now.
Okay.
So yes, committee reports.
Well, I can speak to the upcoming film event, which is going to be on Wednesday, February 5th, and I hope as many members of the Environmental Commission will come. We only had about half our membership or less at our last several events, which I think is a poor showing to the township. This is at the Senior Center, 7 o'clock. And we're showing the film Common Ground, which is the school version of the follow-up to the film Kiss the Ground, still narrated by Woody Harrelson, and it's about regenerative agriculture. And we have 2 New Jersey regenerative farmers coming to speak, and one of whom is Michelle Long, whose farm is here in Far Hills in Somerset County, and her business is here in Franklin Township.
Oh, I know her. Yes.
She's the one who makes the metal credit cards that I mentioned last time. So she's happy to come, and Stan has asked me to moderate.
Nice.
We'll moderate 20 minutes of people's questions. And I think we're going to try to find a way to have some refreshments,
Okay.
as long as they're individually packaged according to the Parks and Rec Department. Otherwise, we get involved with caterers and
Yes.
certificates of insurance.
And I asked about that popcorn maker, and he said no, they don't have it.
So I think that's going to turn into a nice event. So please spread the word, bring your friends and family, and be present, and let people see we do have a good environmental commission that's hard at work. I've also put together an email blast to go to our members and to our list. And so we're going to promote this event with the township social media. Please send you the flyers.
Yep.
And we're going to send it out in an email blast. So the email blast right now would include that. My church is hosting a letter writing event to support the Green Amendment on Sunday, January 26th at 11:30. And we're inviting the public to come. I'll have all the supplies there. I'll have stickers and bumper stickers and suggested wording, so people can easily compose a fun, clever, colorful letter to their state legislator encouraging them to support the Green Amendment. I also thought we should tantalize people with the fact that we want to have talk about our residential energy efficiency outreach campaign with a link to the website where all that is included. And Yeah, I didn't mention
What
you.
time, 10:30, did you say?
11:30.
11:30.
Yeah. I've invited Andrew Zwicker to come. I'm hoping he might. Maya cannot come. I asked her.
That's for the green amendment?
Yes. So the PSE&G thing, we're going to encourage people to do that. Through Citizens Climate Lobby, I learned about a company in Somerville that recycles big blocks of styrofoam.
Okay.
So I want to talk to them tomorrow to get exactly details how they take it. I know it has to be blocks. It can't be cups, things like that.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm going to try to get the details of that, and we'll put that out there in the email
Yeah.
blast. Stan a while ago had sent us out a link to a film called Crown Jewels about the oldest trees in North America.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I'd put that in there. People might want to watch that film. A little blurb about us winning that eval certification. I know
Perfect,
Tina
yeah.
was disappointed. It was buried so low in the press. And I have successfully made a contact at the Franklin Chamber to build a Sustainable Business Coalition. Her name is Dominique Powell. She's been assigned by the Chamber to work on this with us. She has a company called the Compassionate Exchange. She's a special ed teacher who is a consultant and helps young adults with disabilities. So she's interested in a Sustainable Business Coalition. So she's going to meet. But in this little blurb, I'm saying, please, if you've got ideas, share it with the Franklin Environmental Commission. And we'll see if we can build a little awareness. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things just to keep in front of people.
Awesome. I like it.
I will
Okay.
get that to you later this week, Tara, so you
Perfect.
can get it.
What's her last name? Dominic?
Powell. And so that's it from the Communications Committee.
Maybe you can send, I'm not sure I've got everything down that you had, so maybe you can
Send it to you.
send it to me too for the minutes.
And I know you were going to send us the annual plans sorted by committees.
Yes.
So
I finished it, didn't I? Oh my gosh, maybe I just didn't,
That's
or did I
okay.
not finish it? Okay, yes, I
So we can
put it in an
take a
Excel
look at that.
spreadsheet.
And,
Oh, it was in a link at the bottom of the email. I made it a Google sheet. Because I know Stan was saying, it's in a Google sheet, everyone can change at the same time, so I made it a Google sheet. But I can make it.
Would you send it again?
Oh, sure, yeah, it was in the agenda email, it
Oh,
was
it's in
just
the
the
agenda.
link, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but I'll resend it. And then you can go in it and you'll see, oh, you know what, let me real quick do this, because there was one, I'll just show you real quick, because, yes, because I didn't grow up using Google Sheets either, so I'm like not 100% familiar with it, but I was like, let me do this,
I'm a little
because,
uncomfortable with them too.
yeah. Okay, so I put everything into this Google Sheet. I did the priority, so when you have a chance, you can go through it.
And then we can sort it by committee assignment?
Here's the committee assignment. So everyone should definitely look at the committee assignments and make sure that it's like, that shouldn't be there, that should be there. Oh, this one has too many.
Because it's in Google Sheets, it's not Excel. Can you sort by column G?
You can, yes,
Okay.
you can. This one, is this the one that I did not have a develop municipal climate action plan? This, like, for example, this one, I wasn't sure where to put this, so right now it's blank. What committee? But just take a look and see.
Because I think the Energy and Infrastructure Committee needs to meet and go
Yeah.
over this.
Absolutely. So, I'll resend, I'm gonna share it again. I'll share the copy again. Anyone who has the link can access. No sign in required. So you should be able to just open it. I'll send it right now again. Yeah, it was in the agenda email. It's like under my signature. I'm gonna send it right now. Yeah, please look at it, and you guys are all able to, make comments on it, or if something seems not right, Link to Google Sheet for 2025
So we have a
project.
Communications Committee, an Energy and Outreach Committee, a Plan Review Committee, Education and Outreach, Plan Review, and an Energy and Infrastructure Committee. We have those 4.
Yes, so when you go through, you might want to look at it and be like, oh, maybe we need,
We allocate.
Yeah.
Any of the public would like to serve on a committee and help us.
yes, you're welcome.
Don't have to be a commissioner.
Correct.
Have some input and help get things done.
Yep.
Because not everybody on the commission is on a committee, so we could use some more help.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. And if one was like kind of on the border, but it could be under the site plan review committee, I put like one or two there just to kind of spread the wealth a little bit, but not everything fits under there, but you know. Okay, so I just resent it.
Has anybody heard anything more on the township and energy bid? Anything new? Community energy aggregation?
That we hear from Ed Potosnik when we hear.
Okay, because I'm still floating that idea in my mind of having an energy webinar, not a webinar, event for the township and education event where we talk about community aggregation, we talk about community solar, we talk about the PAC&G residential energy savings.
Right.
Just have an energy night for the township. But I think we need more on energy aggregation, preferably a bid potential.
Yeah,
I feel like
my
he said it
impression
already.
was that he thinks it'll be sometime in the spring,
Okay. Well, maybe we'll plan.
because I think it depends on BPU setting some goals that
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
thinking back on
yeah.
what trying to remember what he said about it.
Any other committee
It might even
reports?
be in my notes somewhere. This is one of the last meetings.
Energy and infrastructure. We have to really sort of rev ourselves up and
Yeah.
catch up here.
If you go and look at that sheet, you'll see, I think energy and infrastructure, one of the projects was to look at the micromobility study and the community energy plan and come up with a project that maybe like kind of fits both
And
of
also,
those. So
and also the education committee needs to look at that.
yes, everybody should
Okay.
look at that, yeah.
All right.
The only other thing for hot topics, I got an email today from DEP. I didn't get a chance to look at the whole thing, but I saw that an amendment has been proposed to the Threatened and Endangered Species Act, or the Endangered Species Act, I guess it would be
You
called.
mean taking the osprey and the eagle off?
Is that what it is? I didn't get to
No,
go through it.
yeah, I
Okay,
haven't
all
got
right.
time.
So we probably are gonna wanna look at that, but I didn't read through the actual amendment yet. So it just came out today, so we will have time, but we should probably put that on
Well,
the
it's
agenda.
basically, they're saying the populations are now large and stable, whereas when they were originally put on, there was like one bald eagle nest in
Oh,
New
wow.
Jersey. And
Huh.
now there are, well, just Tom Ostrand and I have between us saw 4 bald eagles just in our territory on the
Oh, really?
Christmas count.
Oh, wow.
2
Huh.
adults, well, because one of the adults, it might have been, the 2 we saw might have been the same bird, I don't know. But,
Interesting.
and
Yeah.
we saw 2 immatures later.
There's definitely an increase, but it's like the eagle, I know they go based on population counts, but it's like, it's such a, well, maybe they probably don't change it when it's just like shaky, I would guess, right?
It's now officially the national bird.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So maybe it should say, well, I have to read the amendment, but you know better, Ted, actually, so, yeah. Well, I'll take a look.
Something Congress could agree on.
Right.
Well, the Superfund Act, I think, is a hot topic as well as old business.
Yes,
Especially
Marty,
since New York's done it.
right. Did you send me an email, I believe, right before I went out on vacation? We were waiting, the last meeting, someone was gonna send you something about this resolution, like some text or about this super.
Yeah, and I
You
sent
sent it to me.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I have to just go
Yeah,
through and make
somebody
that
who
change.
was presenting it here, I think it was
Yes,
Bob
yes.
Scarpane. I think
Yeah.
either Bob Scarpane or Bernadette Marr said that they would send it, and they did, and I sent it to you.
Okay, so I
Because
should
the
make that
resolution
change.
was something in the resolution about them saying that the oil companies knew about this 40 years ago, and I wanted something to.
Right.
to
Oh,
reference
yeah.
that they knew about it
Okay.
40, 50 years ago.
All right, let me make that change and then I'll get it. We already voted on it to approve it, right?
Yeah.
With that change, so
Yes,
I can
yes.
just, okay, all right,
You
got
can
it.
move that on.
Okay, climate superfund resolution, okay, got it. All right, perfect.
Now, I'm not very clear on this, but I believe EPA declared, was it PFAS, toxic
Yes.
material?
Yes.
Yeah. That's not new, but they've been trying to do that a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness. Okay. Let me just share, the new McDonald's there at Ruckles Plaza has a charging station, dual port.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting that they put theirs in, and when we recommended the place up there off Cedar Grove that went in, we recommended it, but they didn't, so.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very
You
interesting.
say,
Well, they need also-
we recommended it to the planning board?
No, through, they came in for, saying they were planning to build, it's next to the, I guess the nursing home there. What's the name of that particular place there? Where the gas station and the food,
Wawa, I think it is.
no, not Wawa, Wawa.
But
very similar.
The one up by 287?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, where I had specifically recommended, actually it was at a historic commission meeting,
Yeah,
that was a perfect place for a fast charging station. Right off 287.
yeah. But,
They probably didn't do it.
no, they didn't.
So we made a recommendation to the planning board, I would imagine, and the
Yeah.
planning board didn't make that a requirement for them? Is that what you're saying?
I don't ever remember it coming before the planning board. Maybe it went to the zoning board.
Possibly the zoning board?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
He says, I would have bugged them about it.
I mean, if they were required to get some kind of variance, I'm sure that they would have required them to put that in there.
And you're only required to put an EV charging station under certain circumstances based on the amount of parking that you're proposing and the type of use you are. So maybe they didn't meet that requirement and it was just recommended that they put one in which case they can basically be like, no, I'm good. But I don't know.
That's something to discuss, though, that let's say they don't meet that need, and they do need a variance. I mean, that should be part of the give and take, that if you want a variance, you put in X amount of
Step up and do
charging
it.
stations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't have to fall back on that state minimum.
No.
That we should, as
Well,
a
that
town.
was specifically to have the fast charging station because of being right next to the interstate.
Yeah.
Whereas most places, it's a question of having a level 2 charging station.
But I think what Walter is saying, they don't have any charging stations,
Yeah.
correct?
No, I haven't seen any. I remember when they opened, and I was there. I was looking for it, and I asked them about it, and they didn't have it.
So again, whether, that be part of the give and take on it, whether it's fast or level 2 charging stations, if they need a variance.
Yeah.
Especially if they're within a mile of a major highway. They're benefiting. If it's a gas station or a McDonald's, they're benefiting from that proximity to a highway. With
Yeah.
that should come something to help pay the freight.
What was
Very
our
true.
thing was that
Yeah.
the same facility located on Howell Lane in New Brunswick, North Brunswick, did put in their charge, or they do have one. And, I was like, why can't we have one here? But I don't know what the difference of the requirements were.
Which one, the quick check?
Yeah, quick check. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, right. So, I think any gas station, quite honestly, or fast food that's within a certain distance of 287, we should make it a requirement.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, see, the thing is, a level 2 station you want where people will be leaving a car for hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas a fast charging station is what you want when you're next to an interstate and people are going to be
20 minutes.
stopping off to get something at a convenience store, but not for long.
As an owner of an EV, I completely agree. That's why I think if you're within a mile of a state or federal highway, we should make that a requirement.
We'd have to, so we could write a memo to the zoning board, the planning and the zoning boards, and make that if we want. We can discuss it more, I guess, and make a memo that basically.
Especially if, it would be interesting to check with the BPU and PSE&G if there's still grant money out there. There's up to $50,000, there was up to $50,000 to help support a fast charging station.
Right, yeah.
Which is
Okay.
no small change. And I think you could do up to 4 of them, get up to $200,000. But I think proximity to highways should make a difference.
Yeah. All right, well, let me look through the zoning ordinance and see what's there, and then,
Because all this makes for a cleaner, healthier Franklin Township.
yeah,
Absolutely.
okay. All right.
I guess we are ready for old business, all right?
Yeah, so we talked about the super fund, the resolution, we talked about that. The Sustainable Jersey recertification, I started looking through our old spreadsheet from last time about the actions, but I have to continue to get through all of it and see what we've built upon, what new actions we qualify for, so I'm working on it, but just
We
takes
talked
some
about
time.
who's on that committee, the green team.
The green team. So I haven't gotten the list of the appointed people. I'm sure it's going to be the same. I know we did tell Councilman Ted and we looked through it after the last meeting and sent comments to Councilman Pataznik
No,
about who should be
he
on
called
there.
me up asking if I had the phone number for Mike Burke, and I said I didn't, but Stan would.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm sure he got it
So
from
if
him.
he got Stan and got,
Yeah.
because I don't even know Stan's phone number. but
Right. Yeah.
At least his email.
So the green team is in charge of the certification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just got this email because I'm part of Negocios Hispanos USA magazine, and they think I live in Jersey City. I don't. I just belong. I just write for them.
Oh,
And this email is about the green team. I was going to share this with you, of Jersey City creating a sustainable green-based partnership. So they are inviting me, but they wrote me as Negocios Hispanos USA magazine. They invited me to join.
But that's a different kind of green team than ours.
So I didn't know if this was going to help.
Yeah. They have definitely things to offer for sure. If you want, you can forward it to me. But yeah, our green team is comprised of, like some DPW, some commissioners.
But
Yeah.
this is for businesses, and then
Yeah, so it's a different purpose of a green team.
of the green team. So this is a different green team.
Yeah, yeah.
Different program.
Yeah, that's a green team created for municipal engagement. Our green team is, sadly, just to do the Sustainable Jersey application.
Okay, because it says to become a community solar ambassador. They're inviting me to become the business owner, a community solar ambassador to the green team. Okay.
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
green team than
All
ours.
right.
Yeah, so it's a work in progress. So, getting there.
All right.
Annual report, I'm still working on it, but I have got a lot done on there. I do need some facts and figures, so I'm working with Stan on that, but getting there.
Curbside composting, that's up to Paul, we don't know anymore.
The
Yeah.
last I heard was that they're still waiting for tourists to provide proof of the insurance, which they need to be able to get into Canal Walk. And honestly, it is better for them, for sure.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So once they do that, Canal Walk can start their pilot program. We can see how it goes. That'll be interesting. The energy efficiency grant. So I actually got a call today from Sustainable Jersey. They want to have like a meeting to kind of like close the loop on that, which is good. So I have to set up, they want to do an in-person meeting, so I have to set it up with them. So, but the website is out there. We're posting it in the Franklin Times when that comes out. I've asked to have it added to our website.
Whatever other materials we should have for the 5th at the senior center.
Yeah, so Paul, we got a bunch of stuff from Sustainable Jersey. Paul has it all. So we can share that with him. The weird thing is this too, when I came in today, it's almost a little odd. I got these. I don't know who the heck this is from, and I didn't order these. There's like 100 of these LED energy saving light control night lights. But I didn't order these. They're addressed to me, and it's like Chinese characters on the outside. I don't know who they're from or
Maybe
what.
that's part of the PSE&G thing?
It is, but usually it would say from Sustainable Jersey, unless they got it shipped direct
Drop
from
ship.
there.
If it's Chinese, it's probably from TikTok, and they're listening to everything.
Gosh. Hold on. Yeah, but
So we
obviously,
can hand those out at our event too.
if you want them, you're welcome. Yeah, it says Origin, I mean, I can't even say it. I would like to, but I can't.
Well, ask Sustainable Jersey. I bet they'll
Yeah.
tell you, oh, we had them drop ship to every participating municipality.
So here's another thing you can hand out if you're interested in them. So if you want, I don't know if you want to take them with you or not. I understand if you don't, because I don't know where they are.
Over here.
You got time. Oh, yeah. So I'll leave them.
Yeah.
Also, too, that's for giveaway.
Right.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
But it would be good if you could verify where they came from, so we could tell people that.
Yes.
Because they don't want them to blow up like pages.
Right.
His mama pages.
Honestly, crazy, right? Okay.
Anything
that's-
on skip the stuff?
Nothing new on skip the stuff.
Tree ordinance?
Nothing new on tree ordinance. However, I do have to talk to Steve Galuli.
Right.
Is he the current chair, or is it Rebecca? Is that her name? Steve is, okay.
Rebecca's the vice chair.
Vice chair, okay. I have to make an effort to reach out to them to get that going. So, yeah, so I will do that. That's on the agenda.
And skip the stuff?
I haven't heard anything more about it. And I did ask Councilman Potasnik about it at the last meeting. So he said he was going to find out.
Can you ask one more?
I will ask him again. The last time I talked to him, he said they were still trying to figure out who would be responsible for enforcement. I don't know, maybe it's nobody wants to do enforcement. Yeah. Okay. All right. I will ask him though again, and I'll check with Councilman Potasnik to see if he got any info. And then Arnie, I know you had other business that you wanted to discuss.
Yeah, a couple of things. One, I just wanted to update on 189 Bennett's Lane, the illegal junkyard motor vehicle storage site. So on December 18th, I watched the court proceedings live on TV, and the defendant's attorney finally showed up after many times missing. And they said they would remediate it, and they were asking for 60 days to complete it. And one of the reasons they were asking for 60 days was because it would be too difficult to remove motor vehicles and other materials because the ground is frozen. Now, of course, if they had done it 6 months ago when they were told about it, or however long ago, the ground wouldn't have been frozen. The prosecutor asked that it be cleaned up in 30 days. Judge Vela split it at 45 days.
And Arnie, in fact, when the ground is frozen, it's easier, because when the ground is really soft, they could say it's all mud, we can't get in there.
Right.
Yeah, somebody made the same comment to me. Yeah, somebody else made that
For
same comment.
towing, it's easier when the ground is frozen.
So if not remediated within 4 days, there's going to be a court trial, from what I've been told. The defense attorney also stated that they wanted to make it a point that the judge know that a state trooper was one of the owners of the property. And Judge Vela said that has absolutely nothing to do with this case. So I'm going to be back out there between now and the end of the month to just check on the site and see if anything's been going on. And I've got some people over there also keeping an eye on it.
Great. Okay.
Hopefully we'll find out. Now, the other thing is, I think we discussed this at the last meeting. I might be wrong, but I didn't see it in the minutes. But we were talking about other stuff and about needing more people, and I said, how about if the commission has non-voting members appointed to
The students.
the commission?
Yeah.
Associate members.
They don't have to be, they can be students, they can be adults, anybody. I believe you were going to bring it up to Bob Warnlocker to see if that could be done, and if it could be, then it'll be up to the council to appoint people, if there are people who want to, get involved.
Yes, I did not talk to Bob Warnlocker about it yet, but I know I did talk to Councilman Potasnik about it,
I have a question.
and he said he was going to follow up on it. So
That's the same about
the youth member, I followed up with him too. Again, after our last meeting, I sat with him and we talked about it for a few. So he said he's going to follow up on it, but I will continue to follow up on that.
I have a youth council.
It's in the handbook that we can do it. And if you need to, show them that.
Got it. Perfect. Okay. Yep. I'll follow up with him. That's it.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do you want to?
We're not ready.
Do you guys have any public comment or? Oh, she might. Okay. Hold on. We have to go into. Yeah.
Never mind.
Sorry.
Can I get a motion to open the meeting?
So moved.
Second? Get it? Okay. We move second that we open the meeting to the public. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
I would be happy to serve on the committees, for the record. Also, just an idea I had sitting here is how I can volunteer. If you guys have ideas too, I'm happy to hear them. But I would be happy to continue writing articles. I wrote the Legalese one. I was doing that at my previous position, where a lot of times we would try to like time when we published in our local paper with events, so I could write something to publish before the film screening on February 5th, and at the end of the article be like, if you want to meet your commissioners in person,
Right.
this amazing event happening,
You want to ask some regenerative farmers in person.
Yeah, and then I have a science background, so I could, and I know about regenerative farming. I could write a little bit about like what is regenerative farming, why is it so important, and then at the end be like, we're filming a screen and there's going to be a panel, that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you wanna write something, I can, where do we post it? I guess we post it on our website, and I can have a link
Facebook,
in the
yeah.
email blast.
Okay.
So it would go
You
there.
can, we also have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We can, we can post it on, all those.
Do you have a website?
The
Environmental
township-
Commission?
The Environmental Commission is inside the township's website.
Okay, because if there's like, we could do like a blog section, make it a running thing.
Yeah.
There's a news section on there. Yeah, we can definitely post it on there.
Yeah, I could write something up and even like sort of the rain garden thing to talk about like what's going on at in Williams Park. I could write about
If you
that.
want to write those as you are motivated to, and we even have a little library, and then we could say, oh, the timing would be right to do that one.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
And I can also try to make them like fit on one page neatly so
Yes.
that when you do tabling events, you can have
Yes,
papers.
that
or
would be
something
great.
like that. Yeah.
Great. And I can print them and, put them on bright colored paper or something so
Yeah.
people grab them. Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Communications Committee, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Communications Committee just got another member.
Yeah. I like it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Any other comments from the public?
None?
Reporter?
No.
No. Okay. Motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
I've been moving second that we close the meeting to the public. All in favor? Let
Aye.
Aye, okay. Now, if there's nothing further, we can have a motion. We can entertain a motion to close the meeting unless there are some other items.
No? So moved.
All right. Second, moving second that we close the meeting. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
You do good.